Hello, everyone. Long time no see. Um, I was, I recently, well, let me tell you what's been going on. As you know, Miss Corona is still on her world tour. Luckily, I didn't get a ticket. Um, and basically, I was gonna go back to the university I went to for my first year. Then Corona hit and life hit, and now I'm going to Full Sail University as a um, animation major, animation and science. I'm gonna have that degree, and it's very exciting, very scary. Also, it's me finally doing something and something that I've been wanting to do. Yeah, but moving on to the gist of the video. I'm making another video on dating and on gay dating apps because if you look at my messages, if you if you if you look at the material, you would know that I'm kind of popular. You see? Decided to get off of that. And so I was just looking, right? I was in a room, I was with my parents, and I was just looking and I was just like just chilling. And I was just like, what's this? And it was maladaptive daydreaming. And of course, I was confused. I was kind of lost. I was like, what's maladaptive daydreaming? And then I was looking at the video and I was like, huh, don't I do that? And so I'm just going to give you a brief definition. Maladaptive daydreaming, also known as excessive daydreaming, is a proposed diagnosis of a disordered form of dissociative absorption associated with excessive fantasy. It can result in distress, can replace human interaction, and may interfere with normal functioning such as social life or work. Now, at first I was like, I don't maladaptive daydream. I just daydream. I'm just a regular. And then I looked into it and I said, wait, Alex, remember college? And so going back to my having flashback, Jimmy Neutron style, going back to college, there were times where I would just whisper under my breath. I'm talking about I'm having deep conversations. I do this all the time. And my roommate at the time, obviously, was like, Alex, can you stop whispering? It's under your breath. It's creepy. But I would always whisper under my breath. When my roommate was gone, I would have conversations. I know no one's there. I don't see people. I promise you, y'all. I know that I'm just talking. It got so bad one time where I left the dorm. It was literally in the middle of the night. And I was just walking around campus. I was talking to myself. I was listening to music. I was dancing. I was acting things out. I was just walking around campus. I was walking around the gym. There was there was a track in front of the gym. I was walking around the track. I was talking to myself. I was, getting mad. I was pretending like I was beating people up. Now looking back at it, I said, am I a maladaptive daydreamer? And then I got into how I interact with people and how I'm always so disappointed with how people act in real life. And then I look back at it and I'm like, I think I'm disappointed with how they act in real life because I'm so obsessed with the fantasy that I created for them that reality is disappointing. And so when looking at that, I was like, well, damn, maybe I am a maladaptive daydreamer. Of course, I did not go, look, I did, people could do this, but at this point, with all of that being said, me staying up to the wee hours of the morning, talking to myself and acting things out as if I'm in a movie, me going back and forth or having conversations with people, which I still do to this day. I find myself now knowing what this is. I find myself walking around and just doing what I'm doing. And just like, it's a normal day. Like, it's just like, it's as normal as breathing. And so when someone looks at you crazy for it, it makes you think, well, what's not, it's kind of like when someone says, do you realize that you're, and it's like, huh, what are you talking about? It's like, I don't This is just how I live, darling. I thought, and now thinking about it, I would always joke about stuff in vivid detail. I would always act certain things out. I would always act certain things out. I would always sit there and find a way to act certain things in my head out as a joke, like, oh, she said this, and now looking back at that, maybe I do have the maladaptive. And usually I'm not trying to sit there, because you go on Google, it says you have cancer and all you got is a sinus infection. It's like, okay, baby, I thought it was the end for me. So it's not like, oh, but looking back at it, being able to constantly create scenarios in my head, being able to constantly create ideas and do drawings, and I never understood why everybody around me, I just thought they was lazy. Like, oh, why can't you just sit there and create a character? Or why can't you just sit there and create a scenario? Or why can't you just sit there and create a story or a movie in your head? I assumed everybody did it. I assumed everybody went to vivid detail. You don't sit there and think about floating on the ocean and running on the ocean as the tsunami comes to you, and you sit there and put your hands in the air and stop the tsunami. And you stop the tsunami in midair, as people in the background on boats are looking at you and saying, how is he doing that? As the camera then goes to news footage of a mysterious man stopping a tsunami, and then you go and you fly into the atmosphere, and then you go into outer space, and then some aliens are trying to fight you on the moon, and then you start doing a dance battle with the aliens on the moon, and then the aliens sit there and say, how dare you? And then the aliens try to come to Earth, and then you sit there and try to deal with Earth. You don't have those thoughts? You don't sit there, imagine yourself having conversations and then celebrities reacting in your head? I said, wait a minute. You can't say that I'm crazy. And I realized it was the maladaptive. It was the disorder. And so that really made me mad. When I found that out, I was really upset, There would be times where I would just zone out, but I'm like, everybody zone out, Alex. Everybody has their zone out moments, Everybody zones out, but I'll be zoning out. Like, I'm not here, sweetie. Now, there will be times, again, some people who maladaptive daydream, apparently. Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. You in a scenario and you start going, or you just like, and everybody's like, what's wrong with him? And then you have to make up an excuse. Look, I just thought I was being crazy. I just thought I was being, extra. Now looking back at it, it was maladaptive daydreaming. I was reacting to the scenario in my head. And people don't understand that. People really don't get what that's like. I'm thinking, okay, everybody, people who maladaptive daydream get it. But when you tell it to, normal people, they just like, I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean that you're, reacting to a scenario? They don't understand, because it's all in your head. And so this really has affected my life in a sense. I'm not saying, oh Lord, I had to fight. I was walking in the village and I had to make it out. And no, I'm not saying all of that. But, I have been in my room for hours just talking to myself. I have procrastinated on work because I was too busy daydreaming about a scenario. And to be perfectly honest, if I would have just got up off my ass and started doing stuff, I wouldn't have been occupied with the daydreams in my head. But that's what daydreaming would do to you. It would suck the life out of you. I wake up daydreaming. I wake up mumbling under my breath or talking to somebody. And if it's a really good scenario in my head, I'm going to sit there and do it for a long time. People gonna be like, Alex, are you okay? And then I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna have to knock it out now. Oh, they caught on, so it's like, okay, well, now let me give an excuse. I was practicing for a play. But Alex, you're not a theater major. Oh, they done got me. Now they know. Now they know I'm crazy. Now they know about the maladaptive. Okay, but even then, they really don't know about the maladaptive, because even though there's been a lot of videos I've seen on YouTube about it, I still think a lot of people don't know. Black people specifically, they already don't believe in mental illness and stuff still to this day. So getting them to understand maladaptive disorder, that, I'm a Christian, they'll just say that's a spirit and move on with your day. That's a spirit. Let me put that extra virgin olive oil on you, baby, so you can get that maladaptive spirit out of you, baby. You're lost. I talk to myself all the time, honey. this is normal to me. There'll be times my roommate will come in, he'll be like, you were very loud. And he'll be like, who were you talking to? And I'll be like, I was talking to myself. And he'll be like, oh. And it's really hard to appreciate what you have when you're constantly in another world. It's great for you as an artist, though, because it's easier for you than some other people. I think a lot of artists may have maladaptive daydreaming disorder because it's easier for you as an artist to sit there and create something and try to put that, try to use that maladaptive daydreaming as a way to create, a painting or a drawing or something. So it's very easy, especially if you're self-taught. And so, yeah, I was always by myself. Always, by myself, doing animations, talking to myself, saying what the characters are saying, and then putting it on the film, saying what so and so is saying and doing that. So I was always someone who was sitting there being a maladaptive daydreamer, and so it really was an inconvenience to me, darling, when I would sit there and be like, okay, a disservice not only to me but to other people. When I would sit there and be like, okay, well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be, I'm just going to sit there and just act this way, and I'm not going to understand. And so, also being a maladaptive daydreamer, you have a tendency, the biggest con I feel like of it is not only just, okay, reality hurts, what it feels like reality hurts, 10 times as much as a regular ass person, but and what is a regular person? But someone who doesn't necessarily daydream in excess. What happens is you have situations with people, and it's hard for you to sit there and process because you're just like, why are they acting that way? You're so accommodated to, fantasy that when someone's acting like a regular ass person, you're just like, I don't get it. And it's weird looking back. I would always sit there and feel like, why would she act like that? Why would he act like that? But they're just acting like regular ass people. But my head was creating scenarios, and it was creating little worlds and fantasies. And it was like my mind was telling me that's not normal. This is normal. And so that will fuck you up. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. That will really fuck you up. If there's times where even then, like I exercise late at night, which I'm gonna do tonight, you will stay up and you will talk to yourself. That's life, maladaptive. And let me just tell you guys, don't daydream. Live in reality.